The department monitors payment made by prime contractors and subcontractors for compliance with this proposal note 31, according to the spec 107.21, which I mentioned, and where applicable due to the 49 CFR 26.29. To facilitate the monitoring, the department requires prime contractors to report their payments to all subs with the submission of each invoice. This is very important for you to hear. The payment data must be reported, include any retainage withheld and any previous retainage released. This reporting will take place by web-based submission on GoForms, which is being worked out right now in central office. So you will be entering that information on GoForms. The invoices that you submit to ODOT will not be approved or processed for payment unless this reporting form has been submitted and received by the department. So that's very important for you to hear, because we will not reimburse you for your invoices or pay the contractor if it's direct without the submission of the contractor and subcontractors reporting and verifying payment after the owner has paid the prime. And it is 10 days from the payment from the owner to the prime, and 10 days from the prime to the sub. On the prompt payment, you have to record the name of the payee, the dollar amount of the payment to the payee, the date the payee was paid, and the amount of retainage withheld or returned, if any. And the payer must sign each reported payment and submit to ODOT via GoForms website, mentioned previously. And if the prime contractor fails to submit the aforementioned documentation with each invoice, they will be determined in non-compliance and invoices will not be processed for payment. I'm going to briefly touch on the FHWA Form 1273. I know you had to have heard of this because this is one of the required contract provisions in a federal contract. Anything with a federal dollar in it, federally funded, must contain 1273. It's in your prime contract sub-agreement or prime contract agreements. It's in all ODOT prime contract agreements. It must be contained in all subcontract agreements. There are a few exceptions to that, which we'll cover. As I mentioned, it must be physically incorporated, not referenced, in all contracts, subcontracts, and lower tier subcontracts. The only exclusions to this include purchase orders, rental agreements, and other agreements for supplies or services related to construction contracts. The prime contractor must meet this contractual obligation by placing the FHWA 1273 in all subcontract and supplier contracts that it enters into, and further require all subcontractors and suppliers to place the same in each of their lower tier contracts. Available templates and forms include the prevailing wage interview forms. I believe that's also in the appendices and the local programs manual under the construction part for appendices. The CUF field observation forms, I know that is out there on that website. The bulletin board checkoff list, I don't know if that's in the appendices. If it's not, it will be, or it is available from any district contractor compliance officer or myself or one of the managers. A DBE verification form, that is also available. The ODOT LPA monthly form and the quarterly form are both available in the appendices of the local programs manual under construction. These are additional resources you'll definitely want to look at if you're not familiar with these. ORC 4115 is the prevailing wage, state prevailing wage regulation. It is part of the Ohio Department of Commerce prevailing wage requirements, and it covers all requirements by contractors for submitting certified payrolls, what to go on a certified payroll, prevailing wage, and fringe benefits. It covers a gamut of prevailing wage requirements. 49 CFR Part 26 is the Disadvantaged Business Enterprise section of the Code of Federal Regulations. You should be familiar with this. It is quite lengthy, so you'll want to take time. You'll want to probably review it multiple times. I think I've probably read it in my career. I can't even tell you how many times. I know I just referenced it earlier today when I was sending an email. So you'll need to be able to reference that frequently, so I would put a link on your website so that you can go to it quickly. Davis-Bacon and related acts, this is for all federal contracts. That is heavy highway. There's a frequently asked questions reference for you there. FHWA tips, these are quite helpful as well. So please review those, and if you have any questions, obviously give us a call, any one of the compliance officers or the compliance managers. The CUF video from FHWA is also linked here. The Evaluating Commercially Function video, that link is provided for you. And official questions and answers regarding Disadvantaged Business Enterprise Program Regulation 49 CFR Part 26. There is a link there for that resource as well. As I mentioned in the beginning, you have, when this is, you will be provided the slide presentation from LTAP after you've taken this webinar or prior to, so that you could follow along. These are all of the ODOT district contract compliance officers across the state. And over to the right is the ODOT Civil Rights Compliance Managers. It includes myself. I cover the western side of the state, which is District 1, 2, 7, and 8. Mr. Thomas Yonka covers the eastern part of the state and kind of northeast part of the state, Districts 4, 5, 11, and 12. And Teresa Van Noy, she covers the central area of the state, and that includes District 3, 6, 9, and 10. The administrator for the compliance, civil rights compliance, is Katie Reardon LaPlace, and her contact information is there as well if you have any questions. All of our contact information is here. If you need an email address, please contact us. We'll send that to you. And by all means, if you need additional help, additional training, guidance, please let us know, and we'll do everything we can to assist. I appreciate your time. I hope you did pick up some information that maybe you didn't know, or maybe you are just learning. And again, thank you for your time, and have a good day.